everybody. 85 to the RGT. Class was crazy.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Class vs. Crass Gaming Podcast. I'm your host, Hey Jay. Joining me, as always, we have RGT85.
Hello.
Champion of the 30-inch. And the bearded one, Greg. How are you?
What is up? My beard is shrinking.
Was that better, Sean? You say I usually yell too much when I intro. I toned it down.
Yeah, that was good.
Okay. We'll stick with that going forward. If it is your first time joining us, it is a 1-hour podcast where we talk about all the latest and greatest in gaming. Tonight, though, it's special. We're bringing back the Love It, Like It, Hate It, or Miss segment to go over all of the PlayStation 5 news from the reveal event. Everybody has talked about it. Everybody's seen it. Everybody covers it, but no one does it quite like a Love It, Like It, Hate It, or Meh. Agreed? Agreed. We also start off with the segment, What Have You Been Playing? That's where we talk about the things we've played over the past week. And then there is also the lightning round saved for the end of the show. That's where we take your questions, your topics, and all that good stuff. And in case you can't catch us live on YouTube and you prefer to just listen to us, we are also available on SoundCloud, Spotify, and all other podcasting streams. So the more you know. What's the story of the 30 inches? Sean, someone's asking in the chat if you've conquered the 30 inches.
Yeah, I bought a 30-inch sub.
That's significant.
Yeah, like it was it's good. It was only $20 delivered.
Does 12-inch not satisfy you anymore?
I mean, I wanted like a Subway sandwich, right? Yeah. But if you order Subway on DoorDash, it's like $10 for a foot long, and I'm like, you got this thing, it's 30 inches long and it's only $20 delivered. Why not just get this and it'll last me a couple days?
But it didn't last you a couple days.
It did. I got it yesterday. I ate it for lunch and dinner, and then I ate some for dinner tonight, and it was gone.
Okay, good plan. So how many like chunks?
I feel like it would just make me poop, like excessively.
Well, that's raisins.
What was your question?
Who are you asking that to?
You.
Me? I just said it was the raisins that make you poop. Oh, I was asking how many slices is the sub?
So it actually doesn't come sliced, so I had to use my pocket knife to cut it up.
What? It's like one long continuous piece of bread?
Yeah, I got the box. Hold on.
All right, here we go. Let's see his box.
I think I would definitely, if I was inebriated, I would definitely order this. I a little bit ago I was just having a bad day, and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna get really drunk. I ended up ordering a big ass burrito from this Mexican place on Uber Eats, and I was so drunk they delivered it, but they just left it out in front of my house because it's touch free delivery.
Yeah.
And I picked it up at 4 a.m, put it in the fridge, and ate it later. It had shrimp in it.
Oh no, the famous 30-inch grinder. Wow, it actually it fits in the frame and everything.
It's a nice big box.
That is big, yeah. Do you have to slide it out, or does it like open on the side?
No, it opens on the top.
Oh, okay, that's good.
You just slice it how you want.
$20 for that?
Delivered. It's only 15. It's only like $16 if you get it in store.
Holy shit.
But I didn't want to go to the store, so I had someone deliver it to me.
That's crazy.
This young black dude, he was just like looking at me. I was like, "It's a good deal." And he was like, "It's a good deal." He's like, "I'm about to get one." I was like, "I'll let you know how it is." It's delicious, though. I mean, there's like a bunch of different subs you can order with it, like different meats and stuff, and then you can different toppings on it. You can't choose your bread. It just comes with a nice French bread. But like the meat is like, if you get a Subway sandwich, it's like that. But like the meat was like that on it. So they do it well.
Mm-hmm. I just want to make sure, is anybody getting a feedback? I'm seeing some weird audio stuff when Sean's talking being picked up on my mic. No one's pointed it out, but there's an issue, let me know. I don't even think we have to, I've never seen a sub that big in Canada.
So you can get a ham super sub, an Italian super sub, which is hot capacolo, which I don't know what the fuck that is. Salami and sweet sopresta, which I don't know what that is. Roast beef, tuna, or turkey. And then you can add 5 condiments, pesto, honey mustard, chipotle. You get a cheese. You can add some extra stuff if you want, but it's kind of pointless. Then you got your toppings, onions, lettuce, tomato, peppers. There you go.
Nah, it's a steal. You'd be a fool not to get that. Plus, you get the cool commemorative box,
Right.
which is very important.
Have party size
have
pizza.
restaurants open for you guys anywhere where you can like go sit down and?
No, not here.
Not like legally, but a lot of places are doing it. I hear, because my uncle went to a bar last night and he said it was slammed and like nobody gave a fuck.
Yeah, there's some places opening here, but I was also listening to our police scanner last night, and there was like multiple fights down on the area where there's all the bars and stuff, and officers, I could hear them like getting into it and people yelling and screaming at each other. I was like, oh, good Lord.
Yeah, none of that here. Can do takeout and stuff, but that's it. All right, enough about food. Let's talk about games. With what have you been playing, Greg?
I am still playing Atomic Crops, believe it or not.
Really?
Yeah, it's the kind of game that I enjoy returning to and picking up and you can make a run and see how well you do and try to unlock new stuff. I've been having a lot of fun with it. I'm started looking finally for partners in Rocket League. So I actually went to the Steam forums to try and see if I can recruit some other players. So I'm definitely gonna look to get out of the platinum division, hopefully in 2v2s or 3v3s. And then I started playing my beautiful paper smile.
I've never heard of that one.
Yeah, it's like a black and white indie title, but it was developed while the guy that developed it, he started
Well, this is creepy.
yeah, he started formulating what the game was going to be while he was in an insane asylum. And so this is like a reflection of his experience, and it's like I actually really like the art style. It's like kind of that paper mache 2D, almost Paper Mario, but with like a dark tone. And then the embargo comes off this week, so I'll be looking to preview the first episode for that.
Crazy. So up to this point in Rocket League, have you been like soloing, or not with like a consistent team?
Yeah, I've been trying to, I played with people here and there that are like, oh yeah, let's partner up, and you'll party up and do a couple matches or have some good runs. But for me, it's been just so hard just to find a consistent partner, and it especially because I have thousands of hours logged in Rocket League, and so at least somebody that knows the each match and when to pass, when to shoot, defensive moves, and like you have to, it's like a real relationship. You have to have that line of communication and know each other's play style and everything, and I just have not found that yet.
So is it kind of almost a requirement to get into the higher leagues to always have the same players playing with you, or is that what you see? That
I mean, not necessarily, but I mean that's the only really way that you get continuous wins back to back, is if you have a solid team with you that's willing to be in it for the win and to keep progressing.
All right. And what have you been playing, 30-inch champion?
I'm playing a lot of stuff.
Xenoblade?
No. I played BioShock Infinite because I haven't played that before. I've been sort of streaming that once in a while on Twitch. It's good. It's really good. I like the shooting a lot more than the other BioShock games. I beat Alan Wake finally. I mean, it was good. I liked the story until like the last 2 chapters were kind of shitty, I thought, because they all of a sudden were like, hey, you need to do more platforming, and like the platforming in the game is terrible. So I didn't really care for that. And then the story ending was like really shitty as well. I thought like it was very confusing, and I even like looked up like theories and shit, and like nobody knows what the ending means. Like it's bizarre. Um, and so that kind of sucked. But it's a good game.
I hate that one about endings.
Yeah, it was just like disappointing. It's weird. And then I've been playing Rise, Son of Rome.
Oh, that's a classic.
I never played it, but I've had it forever. I'm almost done with it. Like I literally am like at 90%. I was just playing it before the show. I like it. I think that game got a lot of bullshit attached to it, but I mean, for a launch title, like it's a really good looking game. People don't seem to like the combat. I think the combat's fun. It's not the most in-depth game or anything like that, but you know, for a launch title, I think it's pretty respectable. I don't understand why the Metacritic on it is like a 60, but
I saw that randomly come up in my Twitter feed too about IGN's initial review of it. It was like a 6.8 or something like that. And
I mean,
like,
I think
I'm not to revisit it
for a you know a launch game. Like it's bizarre how heavily critiqued that game seems to be.
Well, remember, I think launch titles get a harsher judgment because they're almost judged by how much they can carry, system sales. I feel The Order was another one that was also. I haven't played it, so I can't talk about it. But that one seems to be alongside Rise in terms of a lot of high expectations. Because wasn't The Order a launch title or a close launch window title?
No, yeah, it was launch window, but that game was only like 4 hours long. Like,
yeah, so I don't know if the criticism is justified or not, but it just seems like there's high expectations for any exclusives at launch, and they usually get bombed hard unless. Actually, has there ever been a launch title that's been very well received? That's not a Nintendo title. Like,
I'm sure there has.
Nothing comes to mind.
I can't think of anything off the top of my head.
And it's funny because like everybody kind of knows that going into the launch of a system, it's like, you know, maybe there's like one solid game, and that's why they pad it with, you know, Madden releasing. They're all up until that point, most of them I feel are just, I mean, they're all tech demos.
Halo, yeah, maybe Halo. I said no Nintendo games. Laser Show. Breath of the Wild does not count. Anything else you've been playing?
No, that's all that comes to mind.
So over the last few weeks, I've completed Nier Automata. Completed as in I finished the actual story. And that game, the more I think about it and the more I talk to people about it after I've completed the whole thing, it just keeps shocking me and surprising me. Like, is this spoilers? Like the game is 3 years old. I'm just trying to think if I should. Okay, I'm gonna. If you were holding out, this is gonna be spoilers of what happens in the credits at the very end when you've gone through all the endings. So at the very end, there's this like really beautiful song that goes on, and you take control like a little ship, and you're shooting the credits, very much like in Smash Brothers. And as you're going, it gets harder and harder. Like the credits shoot back at you, and it gets to a point where like there's just bullets everywhere on the screen, and you're gonna die. And the game tries to discourage you from continuing. And it's like, why are you bothering? It's just a game. Like, give up now. And you have to prompt, like, continue, yes or no. And every time you die, you're like, this is impossible. How am I going to do this? And the game keeps like, just give up now. Just do it. And it keeps, like, forcing you to pretty much give up. And after a couple times, it'll finally say, do you want help? And you go, yes. And then, like, the whole, like, music changes. Like, 5 other ships come and surround you. And you can finally, like, have enough firepower to get through it all. And then at the end, as the credits roll and everything happens, the game asks you, do you want to help other players in the same way that you've been helped? And at this point, if you say yes, your entire save file gets wiped out. But it like that goes into the cloud to be like to go help another player. And that just like little ending aspect plays to like the rest of the theme of the story, and it's just like very meta, but also very it's ridiculous. Like this game is ridiculous. I don't know if it was a not Breath of the Wild, Game of the Year contender for 2017, but it should have been. It's just freaking cool. I love that game, so I've been playing that, trying to platinum it now, and I'm now fully committed to Animal Crossing. I play it 5 days a week. from 9 to 11 on Twitch. I stream it every morning, and I'm like building an amusement park now and a cafe. Like I'm so deep into it now.
I turned mine on
Shame.
once for the last couple of weeks.
I don't even recognize myself anymore.
Disgust me. You're a sick man.
It's coming along good. This amusement park, I'm really excited for it. All right, you guys ready to get into this PlayStation 5 breakdown?
Yes.
All right.
Are you doing it in sequential order?
This time it's in sequential order just for you.
Thank
Boo.
you.
All right. PlayStation 5 reveal event. Black screen, Rockstar logo. Everyone thinks it's GTA 6. Grand Theft Auto 5 coming back to the PlayStation 5. Love it like it hit
Mass
or meh.
confusion.
Meh.
Meh. I think that's fair. Meh.
Very meh.
They started out with a PS4 game, essentially.
PS3 game, no?
Well, I mean, the footage that they showed was from the PS4, so that bothered me.
That was a troll move.
It was.
Oh, apparently it's being expanded. I kind of missed that. And you get GTA Online for all PS5 owners. Just meh. Next up, we got Spider-Man Miles Morales, which was to this day still not sure what it is. If it's an expansion, a sequel,
It's a standalone game, set within the same universe, but it's Miles Morales, so obviously things are going to be different. I don't think it's going to be like a 40-hour experience. It'll probably be like 15 to 20 sort of thing.
Well, the original, that's what the story was. It was about 15, 20-hour experience. And what is doing that? Oh, that's awkward. Somehow my YouTube. Anyways, my Twitch notifications are mixing with the YouTubes. Love it, like it, hate it, or meh.
Love it. It's a launch title game. It's a big game to have. I think it'll look. People are like, oh, it will look the same as the PS4 version. I don't think so. I think it'll look good.
I've heard instances that it's actually the environments are remastered for the PS5, but it's like you said, the standalone title. And
when I saw it, it was a love it, and now with the trickle news, it's a like it because it's not clear what it is. I understand it's a standalone title, but is that a remaster of the original with a meaty? No. So when I boot the game up, I'm playing as Miles right away. You think?
Yes.
You could play solo. Yeah, you can play it on its own.
And you think they'd package like the original Spider-Man game in there? Because then that's a lot. No. Oh, okay.
I'm sure they'll offer to buy Miles Morales maybe at like a slight discount or something, or get exclusive items if you purchase Spider-Man and have a save file or something.
Yeah. If it's a standalone game where you start as Miles in a whole new story, love it.
It is.
Okay. That's a love it.
Love it.
Next, and I just want to. Well, we'll get to it. Next up is Gran Turismo 7. Love it, like it, hate or meh.
I like it because I like Gran Turismo games. I think the game they went back to the standard career mode, which is good. None of that stupid BS that they had before. One concern is the fact that it still didn't show any vehicle damage, which it is not known for as a series. So that's kind of annoying, but hopefully it's in there.
It's
that open world aspect to it is that new, or is it like just like where you can select? Like
you mean the maps, like the overlaying map? That's how every Gran Turismo has always been, except for GT Sport and Gran Turismo PSP, which people hated that because they wanted the standard. Okay, these are the things. You go here. These are the events. You need this car. You go to this dealer. Like shit like that. And I did away with that for those two specific games. So, but yeah.
I just think it's so weird, the comparison between Forza and Gran Turismo. Like Microsoft seems to go all in on this like visual showcase of Forza, and then when it comes to Gran Turismo, it's like, yeah, here it is. Okay. and I don't know. It just doesn't have the same like.
I mean,
behind it
from a racing perspective, I don't give a fuck what anyone says. Gran Turismo is a more realistic game than Forza. Always has been, always will be. So I think that sort of plays a role into it. They base it more on the realization that it's sort of different in the fact that it is it is, more of a sim game. So yeah.
It's a racing game. I don't really like them, so it's a meh for me. But did you find the visuals were noticeably better? Like, did the usually racing games are used as the look what this console can do? Do you feel Gran Turismo 7 showed off something that was like, oh, that's different. That looks better.
I disagree with you. I believe sports games are the games that showcase the graphics. But I thought it looked fine, but I don't think that game is like super ready or anything.
Mm-hmm.
Still needs more time to bake, eh?
Yeah.
To me, it would look like a half step, but it's really hard to tell. Like I've been at the gym, catching on some of the TVs are on ESPN, and they have all sorts of esports and stuff going on. One of them, which was racing, and just like looking at how far we've come to see, racing titles on ESPN and to look that good, and now, this is supposed to show off the next generation of consoles. And for me, it was just kind of I think a like.
All right, next up we have Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. Love it, like it, hate it, or meh?
Love it. The game looks one of the best looking games at the thing.
Agreed, love it. Love the series. Love to see these guys back in action. Greg?
Like it.
What?
Yeah, I noticed. I don't know. It seems like we were talking about during the stream that a lot of the animations, I noticed like small frame rate drops, and I think it feels really ambitious. But my judgment on it will be, as trailers continue and see the full performance of it.
Yeah, this was the first game in the showcase where I was going like, oh my god, look at the reflection on the floors. Like, as stupid as that sounds, I feel this was the first game that really kind of showed off a next gen jump in terms of. So everyone's talking how ray tracing is going to be the big change, and that's mostly making these light effects make things look more realistic. And I felt Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart was the first game where it was noticeable without anyone saying like, oh, we use this tech. It's just like something looks better here. Did you guys?
Yes.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, I thought the game looked phenomenal, and it was great looking.
Yeah.
I mean, what can I really say?
Yeah, I thought that was really interesting too. The how they decided to show. I mean, because everything shown in that trailer seemed just so graphically taxing. Changing the world like that multiple times, the light effects, the particles, and that's where I kind of saw in the scenes where he was running and gunning, where you could see small clips, and I'm just being wanting to wait until I see more, I guess.
I still don't understand that mechanic. Like, there's a weird warp thing, and you like throw something at it, and you pull yourself into a new dimension. Is that what was going on there? Or is it?
Yes, kind of. I think it's like rifts within the dimension you're in, so it like goes into a different part of where you are already at, or a different part of time for where you're already at.
So weird. I was thinking after if they're going like the multiverse approach, if they're gonna like if this is a way to explore the old Ratchet and Clank games maybe, and like revisit old levels and stuff.
Maybe.
Anyways,
Without having to go the remaster route too. That's kind of cool.
yeah, like if they did that's awesome for me. It's kind of like the Sonic Generations approach.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's one of the ones that's on my must-have list. Next we have Project Athia, which I'm trying to. This was the werewolf-like creature by Square Enix.
The nothing.
I don't remember what it is, honestly.
Like, she jumped, and that was it.
Oh yeah, it's the girl. She has a cape. There are werewolves.
Yeah, we were like, Athea?
Well, you were like, oh, this looks like the PS5 like tech demo a bit.
Oh yeah.
But that's it. We don't really know what else is going on. Love it, like it, hate it, or meh?
Meh. You didn't show me anything.
Same. We're gonna go with meh. Okay, next up, yeah, there really was nothing there. Next one we had Stray, which looks like you're in a robot futuristic world and you play as potentially a stray cat. Love it, like it, hate it, or meh?
Hate it.
Really? Why do you hate it?
Fucking hate cats. I'm
You
allergic
hate
to 'em.
cat? What? I never knew you were allergic to cats.
Yep. I don't want to play as a cat. I don't know. Cats have attitudes. They're the little prissy things. Get away from me.
Okay, I love cats. And to play as a cat, like, I hope I can just go around and knock glasses off tables and have a robot freak out at me. It's a love it from me.
It's a like for me. I like the environments. I think there's a lot of there was a lot of variety and uniqueness, I think, in the trailer or in the showcase, and I think this was just one of the titles that kind of showcased that. It was something completely different.
Yeah, like we've never really had a game where you play as a cat with cat mechanics. I don't know if that's what they're going to be doing, but I like the idea and the concept.
It's like seems like Death Stranding with cats.
No, don't. I didn't like Death Stranding, so no, please. I don't know if I'll ever finish that. That game was weird. Okay, next up we have Returnal, which honestly I forgot this was even a thing. A new franchise from Sony. Something about crash landing on an alien planet where the protagonist keeps reliving the same events, including their death, over and over again. The planet changes every time she dies. I didn't care for this. Love it like you hate it or meh.
Meh. I didn't understand it, to be honest with you.
Same. Like this was the one with the space suit, and you were like, "Oh, I know this actress," but you couldn't remember.
Yeah, I liked it. It gave me some like weird, kind of Lost Planet vibes with some other third-person combat, and I don't know. I'm intrigued by it more than anything.
Apparently,
And now that I've heard more, I didn't even know that was the mechanic in the game. So that sounds tight.
it's apparently developed by the same people behind Resogun. If that.
Yes.
Oh yeah, we talked about that too.
Yeah. Just nothing about it appealed to me. So meh. Next, Sackboy coming back with a big adventure. Love it like a hater, man.
I like it. I thought it looked good.
Great.
Loved it.
You loved it.
I did.
Are you a big Sackboy fan?
I mean, Little Big Planet. I like the cuteness of it. That's one reason why I play Mario games, and I think so. This made me feel like Sony's actually giving a try on developing this into it, recognizing number one that Sackboy is one of their most adored
Iconic
mascots. He's iconic. It was synonymous with the PlayStation 3 brand for so long, and they just didn't do anything with the PS4. Maybe it was hardware limitations.
Well, they tried to build Knack. Knack was their poster boy for the 3D platforms.
Yeah, but I think this could potentially bring over younger fans that might be considering maybe they have siblings in the house, and it's at least kind of a compromise if they have a sibling that's wanting the PS5 for the other games. I think and it opens up. There hasn't really been a solid all ages platformer for Sony in a long time, and I think this is it.
Yeah, I agree with you. For me, it's a like it simply because did you notice in some 3D levels it looked like the camera was locked to a weird perspective, and you're running at a 30-degree angle through the level in a 2D kind of way? That looked really unappealing to me. That's not how I want to play a platformer. Other than that, if the camera you can move and everything in most of the game, that's a love it. I just want to shout out Brett, Nintendo Enthusiast, in the chat, who he was on stream when we were watching this live, and this guy has some of the best genuine reactions to some of these reveals. He was freaking out at every other reveal. It was very endearing.
He thinks everything's a 9 out of 10.
Oh, the low blow.
Yeah, can't come on the stream because you're busy to defend yourself.
Brett, you're welcome to join us whenever you want. The invitation.
He's calling in. No, I'm just kidding.
Next up, we have Destruction All-Stars, which I'm trying to remember what this one was. It was like a Demolition Derby game. There you go. Love it like a hater, man.
Meh.
Agreed. Meh.
Liked it.
Yeah, I got some Rocket League vibes out of it.
Yeah, I like the driving animation. It looked really comfortable. Looked very arcadey. I don't know. It's something I'd probably pick up and play for a while.
Yeah, you were saying it was your weekend game.
Yeah. Well, and I even, going through this is it's considering games you could potentially buy, and if there's like at least one that I can consider as a launch title to purchase if I do end up purchasing a PS5. But all the others, are just kind of icing on the cake, I guess.
All right. Next up, we have Kena, Bridge of Spirits, which looks like some kind of like 3D action adventure game with little Totoro black balls. Love it, like it, hate it, or meh?
At first, I was like, "This looks stupid,"
Yeah.
but then, like, once the gameplay kicked in, I was like, "Wow, this is kind of dope." So I'll say I liked it.
Gregory.
I'm in between a meh and a like it.
Wow,
I'm
really?
gonna go meh on it.
This is a hands down love it for me. I love the aesthetics. I love the gameplay I saw. And did you know, I learned this afterwards. Remember that Majora's Mask fan trailer? There was a fan-made Majora's Mask trailer that went viral 2-3 years ago. And it's just like an animation of Majora's Mask and like just kind of covering the story through cutscenes. Do you guys remember that?
Mm-mm.
Sean, you must remember
no.
it, right? It looked really sick.
No.
Oh my god. Okay, we have to pull this up. It's got like 8 million views. I know you saw it, Sean, because we covered on Nintendo Enthusiasts. Just type like Majora's. I'm gonna link it in the chat. Majora's Mask.
Oh, I know. Yeah, they were the people that made it or something.
Exactly. Right? So the people that made that Majora's Mask trailer, this is their first game. So.
Oh shit.
Just a cool little fact. Actually, I'll put it in the chat, but I'll also just play it on stream real quick so you guys can like see. So
is it the one Terrible Fate?
Yes, that one, A Terrible Fate. So we're just gonna skip this. Like they're really good with their 3D models and animation. That's all this tells us.
Well, the only reason why I was so turned off to it, I guess, is because there's like 3 or 4 games right now that have like that same aesthetic, that same third-person fantasy action combat exploration right now, and it's just like, oh, another one? Okay, cool.
You can never have too many of those. It's funny because you're having the same reaction to when I see first-person shooters. I'm like, oh, really? Another one?
That's how I feel about 2D platformers nowadays.
Well, to each their own. Goodbye, Volcano High. This is...
Hate it.
Okay. For those who don't remember what it is, it's a hand-drawn art style about an emotional game set in the end of an era. I think you play as... Isn't it? It had a...
It's the SJW game of the show. That's all it is.
It's the game of the year is what you're saying.
It'll probably win it from somewhere.
I'll agree with you. I did not like this one at all. I think we should change hate to dislike. Hate seems such a strong word.
I hate it.
What about you, Greg?
Yeah, it's kind of meh on it. I wouldn't say I hate it. I really like the art style, and I thought that was a unique concept. And then at the end, when we all realized that it was a goodbye Volcano High, and it's an asteroid and we're like, oh my god, all the dinosaurs are gonna die. Like, this is what's happening. This is why it's going goodbye.
Yep.
I was like,
they stole the fucking plot from Dinosaurs, the TV show.
It technically,
wow.
Not the mama.
This is like the same concept for Life is Strange.
It had Life is Strange vibes.
Not the mama.
And in Life is Strange, the world they're trying to fight.
Sean, I acknowledge your 90s show joke. Feel good now?
Not the mama.
Next up, Oddworld Soulstorm. I have a lot to say about this, but love it like a hater, man.
Meh.
This is a hater for me.
It looked like every other Oddworld game. I actually forgot to cover it in my video, and it's the only game I did not talk about. Even the games that I thought were stupid as hell, I still talked about. But it was so forgettable.
That's
that
the thing.
I just completely forgot about it.
So I was never into Oddworld when it was out, like in the PlayStation, but I remember we covered it on the Wii U, and just everything about this IP, I don't understand if it's just like a very minor.
It's not a bad IP. It's just an IP that hasn't ever really grown.
It just doesn't seem like it's doing anything, and it just keeps coming back up like, oh, it's Oddworld, it's Oddworld. I'm like, why should I care?
To me, it's never transcended that indie vibe. Like, it's never, even though they have money backing it, it's never like exploded to something that's super polished or that has some compelling outside of the story that it already has, and I don't know, it's just
As Gadget Mike puts it, are Oddworld games even good?
I think they at a time were good, but
in
it's just
PS1 days, yeah.
they've kind of lost their luster.
Right. You say they give an indie vibe, but there's so many indie games that are just come across as so much better. Like even if they don't end up being good, they still come across better in the trailer. Okay, that's enough of that. Next up, Ghostwire Tokyo.
Really do.
Got a new update on that. Love it, like it, hate it, or meh.
Well, meta-like.
It's a meh from me.
I thought it was interesting that the combat's in first person. That was kind of threw me for a loop. But I liked how it looked. I'm not sure. I need to see more from it.
The environments look like plastic to me, but the character and enemy designs look pretty. I like the direction that they're going. But I'm hoping that Akumi Nakamura, before she left Tango, that it was, far enough along that she had her kind of stamp on the game secured, and it's not just some clusterfuck after that.
Isn't it kind of a red flag that she left right after the reveal?
Well, you don't know what was happening behind the scenes.
Yeah, and the biggest thing too, from the reveal from that perspective, is I think people started to recognize her, and her fame started to explode, and I think at that point she probably had other offers, and then maybe something else, because I have heard things about her maybe going to Microsoft or this and that studio, so I have no idea. I haven't followed back up on it, but
I know she was touring. I caught her. She was at an event in Montreal as the keynote speaker here in October in Canada, and then I know she was visiting Toronto, like Ubisoft and all that, but as far as I know at that point she was still a freelancer.
Yeah, because I and from what I understand, she's had an impact on a lot of different horror games over the years. But she's always been kind of behind the scenes. But this was a standout moment for her to kind of show who she was as a person, and not only that, she had this long list of experience behind her, and I think that just helped her situation.
Next we have Jet the Far Shore.
Hate it.
I don't remember what this one is.
It was that shitty looking indie game. It looked like something that would just be crapped out on Steam or the Switch eShop at any point in time.
Was that one with the little ship that was just like?
Oh, I didn't. Yeah, it was flying over grass all the time.
They're like, what the hell is that? I thought it was like flour or something, or I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't get it. It was meh. It was literally a ship flying over grass the whole time.
Your ship flying over grass.
Sometimes. Godfall. This was like the arena brawler, I think. Love it, like it, hate it, or meh.
I went from a meh to a like it. I thought the game initially, when it first was unveiled, was kind of like stupid, but it looked a lot better. I thought the combat looked nice and fluid. It might be good. I think it won't score very well, but I think in retrospect people will like it.
It's a hard meh from me.
It's a like for me. It looks like a fun For Honor.
Yeah.
Solar Ash from the creators of Hyper Light Drifter. This was
Solar Ass. That's what I called it in my video.
So I guess love it, like it, hate it, or meh. Not a big fan.
It didn't show anything. Once again, it looked like another just random indie game, and they showed you nothing. It showed you the chick walking or running for like a minute, and then it was like, okay.
They spent a year on that walk cycle. They were very proud of it.
I don't care.
I don't know.
I'm a consumer.
It honestly gave me Journey vibes.
Yeah.
You were saying, Greg?
No, I was just going to say that the one positive about it, I think, is that it seems like it's going to be somewhat fast paced just with the movements. But I mean,
it looked like she was skating, right? It was that one.
There's nothing. There's no baseline to judge it on. It looks like Gravity Rush, Journey, and a couple other games I've played, and it's like I don't even know what it is.
Yeah, the world looked empty. It looked like here's our character and what it can do, and it's like okay, that's nice. Keep going.
Because they're like, oh, there's so much more to tell you about here.
black backdrop or a white backdrop. Next up we have Hitman 3. Love it like you hate it or meh.
Liked it. I want to see more from it, but I'm glad that traditional Hitman is back. I think Hitman's a good series. It kind of gets overlooked a lot, I feel, but back in the day it was fucking awesome.
Why isn't it awesome anymore?
Because there hasn't really been a proper one in quite a while. Well, its monitors sold out on Best Buy. Fuck you, Best Buy.
It's a meh from me. Just because I'm not into that IP, I don't know. And it's a stealth game, isn't it? Like, isn't there stealth elements to it?
It's a very stealthish game.
Yeah, I don't
Very.
like those.
You never played any of Hitman's?
No.
Not even like the ones back in the day on the GameCube and shit?
Nope.
Hitman 2 on the GameCube was fucking awesome.
Is that the one you would recommend playing?
I really enjoyed it.
How about you, Greg?
I played and reviewed the one that was episodic, that was relatively recent, but I liked it. I'm definitely considering it because I want to see where IO Interactive goes after being released from Square Enix. If they were holding them back, and that's something if they were urging them to keep the formula the same, and that's why the franchise has become so stale. And I felt like that was a move to kind of create that excitement by doing the episodic release previously, and then they bundled it all together. And I actually had a really, really fun time with it. There was, all this like crazy stuff you could do, and you're constantly monitoring your stealth activities, and then there's these like crazy elaborate ways to kill people, and you can either go that route, you can go guns blazing, or you can kind of find your own spot somewhere in the middle. And I'm really anxious to see where IO Interactive goes now, especially like I said before, leaving the embrace of Square Enix and venturing out to do what they've been wanting to do, like they've done previously.
Okay, next up, Astro's Playroom. Love it like you hate it or meh.
I like it. It's a free game. Comes bundled or preloaded on every system.
So Brett told me. I didn't know this. Is it worth... Well, I guess I'll try it. I didn't even know I had this game on my PS4.
Well, it's not on your PS4. It's for your PlayStation 5.
Not that one. But apparently there's another Astro game.
It's a
on
VR
everybody's PS4.
game.
Is it? Brett lied to me. I thought he said it was a general... That there's a general Astro game on all PS4s.
Not to my knowledge.
I don't know. Brett, clear it up for us. You're in the chat. How about you, Greg?
I think it just points to them, doing something, having a refresh to their PSVR. That's it.
Yeah.
I'm a meh.
Meh too.
Because I know it's coming. Why showcase it when you could just say, like, we have PSVR 2 in the works?
Yeah. Next up, Little Devil Inside. Love it like you hate it or meh.
Liked it. It looked like a Tim Burton movie.
What was that one?
This is... Oh, it was a really weird one where it kept like going between a guy dreaming like an old man. There's that part where he's like on the toilet and it goes ploop, but then it like switches to an adventurer.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one really intrigued me. I liked it.
I love this one.
Yeah.
Only for the comedic aspect to it.
I'm just so curious. Like, this caught my interest. And it looks so creative and so wild. I want to play it.
I love the mixture. This was one that, as I was watching it, even though it's already surrounded itself in some turmoil, but I did really like the mix of kind of tongue in cheek, kind of comedic character designs, and then there's like these real world environments and these crazy bosses, and he's like shooting people in the face, and so I don't know. I'm a like it for sure.
The trailer is it. So Brett says the Astro game came packed with all PS4s, but it's only playable with the PS camera. So that's the story.
We saw was interesting.
Greg?
Yeah, I'm kind of actually I'm gonna go meh on it.
Meh.
Because especially in previous years, like with other franchises, like EA has shown off Madden gameplay specifically for next gen, and this was like an intro to a dunk, and I don't know. I think they could have found a better way to showcase some of the PS5 hardware.
All right, now this next one stole the show. Frickin' Bug Snacks. Love it like a hit or meh.
Hated it.
Meh.
What is wrong with you guys? That was one of the most creative games I have ever seen in like 10 years. I'm
Looked pretty
so intrigued.
boring.
It looked really fun. You just the strawberry running around saying its own name, being like so. Oh man,
It doesn't make for a good game.
I'm so down for this game.
It makes for a good children's cartoon.
I'm
That's
fine with
about it.
that. It's the child in me. I'm okay with it. I love it. Fine. You guys are boring. You have no souls. Speaking of souls, Demon Souls. Love it like a hater, man.
I don't really. I'm not huge on the Soul series, so for me personally, it was kind of meh.
Agreed.
Yeah.
But it's cool for fans of it because they wanted that for a while.
Yeah, I saw a comparison between the original and this one, the cinematic and everything, and I mean, it tees up something very nice. But I have not played Demon Souls, Bloodborne, or what should we call it, Dark Souls. So again, for the fans.
Yeah. Meh. Deathloop. Love it like a hitter, meh.
Oh, I kind of liked it.
This was the first-person stealth game. I didn't care. First person, meh. Greg.
I went from meh to liking it.
Really? What changed?
So when I was sitting, in the Bethesda press conference last year, I was like, man, how is this going to work? And I was like, man, this just sounds kind of like a watered down experience. And I was like, I don't even know how this concept is going to work. But then I saw the gunplay, the environments. I really liked how they kind of showcased that in the trailer. And it got me excited because I was like, okay, this is a little bit more fleshed out. And looks like a game that I could actually get behind, and you could see the elements of Arcane Studios, but you could also see maybe it's a little bit more arcadey, or kind of trying to bring in more fans other than ones that with their previous games that had to look at everything at a level just to complete the level, and maybe this is a little bit more lax casual experience.
All right, we have a few more left here. Pragmata, a post-apocalyptic game set in a world where cats are now holograms, horrifying natural disasters. See a man in a spacesuit. Oh, this had that Death Stranding look to it. Pragmata, love it, like it, hate or meh?
Meh. Didn't show me anything.
Meh for me.
Meh as well.
Wonderful. I was ready to see a Kojima name thrown up in there at one point. Horizon Forbidden West. Love it.
How are you going to skip Resident Evil 8?
You're right. I did miss it. Resident
Evil 8.
Village. Love it like a hater.
8, essentially. Loved it.
Meh. Greg.
Loved it. I'm ready.
You guys don't like
it's not even, it's only a next gen game. It's not coming out on Xbox One or PS4.
Really? Comes out in 2021 too.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't do these horror things, so big meh for me.
Pussy.
Okay, so I just happened to come across the Pragmata trailer in 4K, and because everything that was shown in the PS5 reveal was 1080p, 30 FPS, is from what I could tell and what I've heard. But it looks almost like a completely different game in 4K. I don't know.
Really?
Like it seems. Here, let me.
Well, I mean, I don't know.
I don't know where to send it to, but
Facebook is best.
Okay.
All right. You're on Pragmata still?
Well, I just happened to come across it, but yeah.
All right, do send. And you loved Resident Evil Village.
Yeah.
Great.
I love each generation, and I'm really excited, especially after the 2 and 3 remake, to see where they can really take the engine on next gen.
Mm-hmm. All right. Back to Horizon Forbidden West. Love it like a hater, man.
I think it looked great. Great way to end the show, too.
Yeah.
Agreed. It's a like it. I couldn't get into the first one, but I want to give it another chance. I feel I'll be able to enjoy it after I spent some time away from it. Did you guys play the first one?
Some. I didn't finish it.
No. Greg?
Of which one?
Horizon Zero Dawn?
I did not. I was in that same boat and another boat too, because I still had my base PS4 and I wanted a PS4 Pro for that.
Yeah.
And so
the boat being you played Breath of the Wild and then
yeah.
there's no point in playing that. Gotcha.
I will eventually, just like The Last of Us, just like The Evil Within 2, just like, anything on my backlog. There's a reason to play it.
Yeah, for sure. It's one of those games I have to look forward to play. And then finally, the PS5 reveal, the console itself. Love it, like it, hate it, or meh.
Don't care.
You don't care? I love it.
I don't care what it looks like. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter, but I personally love it. Like, I was hoping that they would do something interesting, not just have a black box or a white box. No, they went with like the V. I love it. It's cool. I'll probably be annoyed of like how
Yeah.
loud it is in its design, but I love it.
I think the disc drive's ugly. I saw one, someone did like a darkened version of it, and I thought that one looks way cleaner.
Is that the one with like the red? Like it's all black but it has like red highlights with the lights?
It might have been that one.
I like that too, yeah.
Yeah. It seems like they developed the all digital, and then they put they're like, well, we'll just put the disc drive right
Yeah,
here.
just slap it on there.
I like symmetry, and to see that, it just seems so ugly.
I thought it looked good. I don't know though. I saw it horizontally. Like you can put it horizontal on it. That looks weird. It looks like a duck beak or something. But actually, my PS4 is now vertical anyways, so I'm all about vertical consoles.
Mhm.
Right next to the Xbox, the fridge. Did you like any of the other stuff? The remote, the Wiimote for the PlayStation Wiimote, or all the other accessories? Anything else catch your eye there?
It's just a media remote.
I know. Did the PS4 have one of those?
I know the PS3 did.
Yeah, I remember that one, but I don't think
That's what I said too. I hope there's like some sort of power save feature, because I mean, I do that all the time. Am I going to choose to watch Netflix on my Xbox One X or my Xbox One S when my TV has it built into it through Roku? And it's like, I'm going to turn on my machine that's pulling 500 watts, to watch a Netflix show, and with my sweet media remote. I did see something though, that the controller has like the texture to it is little tiny PlayStation symbols all over it.
Yeah.
They're like almost microscopic. I thought that was cool though.
Oh, did that? I didn't notice that. It is unfortunate that they didn't reveal the price, but it's also understandable. I get that. They got everybody hungry. I think this presentation as a whole was, if you were a PlayStation fan, you were like Brett, and you were like wetting yourself seeing all these reveals. And then you got the console, and like it's enough to get you excited that if they would have put a price, you would have gotten mixed emotions. So now everybody's like, oh wow, this is great. And then when they show the price later, then you get to weigh that price against those emotions that you've been feeling now for however long it's going to take.
But there's one piece to it that I still don't understand. And that is, how are they going to approach that price between the two variations of the console?
$100. One's 4, one's 5. And
It
the
seems
5
like-
will be harder to find.
Yeah, but at the same time, like, what is the storage going to? What is that SSD going to? What is the file size?
That's the real question.
You think that the disk drive is going to be $100 difference?
Yes.
See, and I was guessing they were going to be the same price, because then they would lose out on the ability to cannibalize themselves by having people go for the lesser option, because then at that point it's $100 cheaper, and then
Yeah, but I don't think that many
games
people will.
with it.
I don't think that many people will go for a lesser option, because you can't buy a physical medium on that. And no matter what the video game industry likes to tell you, physical medium is still popular.
Mm-hmm.
Even myself, who's gone pretty much digital on everything else, if it is $100 difference, that might be enough to sway me to go without disc, because I don't use Blu-rays or anything like that, and I don't buy my games physical anymore. But I have to admit, it's scary to say like, nope, I'm cutting myself off for the whole next gen from physical like mediums. It's bold. I don't know yet. I do know right now, I'm not sure I'm going to buy this console at launch. It's very rare that I buy a console at launch. The Switch was the only thing I've ever bought at launch. I'm usually one of those cheap guys that waits till you get bundles and discounts.
I mean, I'll buy it. Kind of have to.
And I see in the chat, they said, I wonder what SSD will be with it. But I think it'll finally be at the point where the cost per gigabyte has come down enough that I think they have to move to a 2 terabyte or some sort of cloud storage, or something that helps them out, because if
Well,
you continue to have games like Modern Warfare, 150 gigs, 200 gigs, like on next gen, the file sizes are just going to be even worse.
the Target had a digital version up very quickly on their website that was taken down. It was 2 terabytes for $400, which
That's
I
ridiculous. That's so good.
I think that's what it'll probably be.
That's not bad, and that was kind of my guess, anyways. I was saying in the 400 to 500 range, and
I think 4 digital, 5 physical.
I think there's a huge mental barrier at the 500, and it's really risky for any of them to go over 500 with their price points. Like you have to stay at that 499 and under, if they really want to push some consoles this holiday.
And I really I don't know. It's just kind of a weird thing in my head. I still consider, okay, I get the 1 terabyte physical option. The games are already on the disc and they're going to be installed to my console, so that's going to eat up space anyways. Or do I buy the digital only console and purchase the full games, which are going to eat up space anyways, and I'm saving money, and then it's forcing me into the digital aspect of it. So it's like, it's the same in my mind. It's the same thing as the Wii U and the basic Wii U. And I worked at Target at the time, and there was, well, why the hell am I going to buy the other one? This one has the storage and includes Nintendo Land or whatever. And we just had so many basic Wii U's sitting in backstock, and it was like, I feel like the same thing could potentially happen here. Granted, it's completely different times.
Potentially. That's one thing, like you say. Another reason I'm not really drawn to buy these physical discs, it's the fact that you have to install it anyways. If I could get my game like that by putting the disc in the console, I would stay physical. But the fact that I have to wait anyways, sure, I like holding the box and look at it, but my PS4, for example, makes way more noise when it's running a disc, and there's no other convenience. It takes up shelf space.
There's plenty of convenience. You can sell that game if you need money. You could buy that game used and save a fuck ton of money, because without it, you're a slave to the digital only market.
Which there's a lot of sales on the digital only market. I buy most of my games on sale digital, and I never find anything I like at EB Games in the bargain bins and stuff. So for my lifestyle, that's how I see it. So overall, this whole presentation, love it, like it, hate it, or meh?
Liked it. It was very good.
I think they did a fantastic job.
I think I gave him
it.
like a B-. I liked it.
Wow, I give it an A-. Love it. All right, let's get ready for the lightning round. We are definitely bumping up at the hour, but I think we can get through a few questions. Agreed?
Yeah.
All right.
What are your thoughts on WB Games being sold by AT&T to a company? I'll believe it when I see it.
It's just a rumor at this point, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so.
Did Sony not announce the drive size for 850 gigs for the PS5? They did, actually. Forgot about that.
What?
Yeah, Mark Cerny during the Cerny presentation.
What was it?
Roughly a terabyte, 850 gigs.
I wonder if the rest of it's, I mean, if it is a terabyte or somewhere close, I mean, I wonder how much. I couldn't imagine the UI being like 50 gigs. So I wonder what else is on there. And plus, if it's as easy as it was to swap out for like the PS4 hard drive, they made it super easy. I put an SSD in mine because of that.
But will the SSD be as fast? Because supposedly this SSD is the best thing ever that's in the PS5. Yeah. That's what a lot of people are wondering. Like,
what did they say the transfer speeds were on it?
I'm not a tech guy.
I think that's it. I mean, SSD in general, like my computer went from booting in like 25 seconds down to 11 or 12 seconds. And I know you said the same recently, is having the SSD now is so much of a difference. But I've heard it's, proprietary, it's built from the ground up, and maybe they do have some, crazy exchanges of data between all the hardware that they have custom built. So I don't know. I'm maybe they're talking it up more than it is, because that's been Sony this whole time, overselling the PS5. But I'll believe it when I see the hardware transfer speeds.
Mm-hmm.
I thought I read the questions.
Okay. I got excited.
Man. Would you see the Switch taking a complete nosedive when the next gen comes out? What do you think Nintendo's plan is for a more powerful revised Switch? Be on the lookout for RGT 85 tomorrow, because that is actually what I am planning on making a video about, because I see a lot of interesting things with it, and I kind of look at it from a different perspective. It's not a rumor they're seeking to sell the studio, and those are the studios that are interested already. But I mean, to me, it won't be a story until one of those companies picks it up, and then it'll sort of be a story.
Yeah, because who knows? Tencent could come in and put their nuts on the table and just buy it with their
What would Microsoft have to do to convince you to buy their system instead of a PS5? Nothing, because I'm buying both. But they definitely. I mean, even when you look at the third-party games that they showed during their little presser versus the third-party games that we saw during the PS5 presser, I think the third-party games were better on the PS5. Now, that's not saying anything, because those games will be coming to both systems, but you're a smart individual. You obviously watch me, probably. So you are well-informed, but the average person who's not, super well-informed about that will see that and see, wow, the PlayStation 5 is getting these games plus these games, and then you got shit like Vampire Masquerade 2 looking like a 360 game during the Xbox One presentation, or the Xbox Series X presentation. So I think they need to come out with the big guns, but I don't even know if they have the big guns anymore.
I need to see exclusives.
And everybody's still holding out on showing what games like Cyberpunk look like on PS5 and Xbox Series X. And I think that's at least one point that people are going to be like, okay, I can get this game right now, but I know during the holiday when I upgrade to PS5, it's going to look insanely great.
5 gigabytes per second, and when compression is taken into account, they're getting 2 to 3 times. Okay. Do you think Xbox will fuck up their conference compared to Sony's? I hate all the time they're taking. Like I said, I don't know that they have enough. It's crazy to say it, but what are their franchises nowadays? Halo, Gears of War, like Splatoon on the Wii U outsold the last Halo.
Yeah, they have a huge mountain to climb, Microsoft, in terms of building.
And they were in the driver's seat, but then Sony came along and was like, "Hey, remember our IPs?" And they're like, "Fuck, like shit, you're already talking about Spider-Man when the system launches. You got Ratchet and Clank, you got
show off Halo Infinite. Everybody's anticipating that, and it's like that's the only true way I feel that they can win something.
But you don't have to buy it. You play it on Game Pass.
Yeah,
you play it on the Xbox One, because there's no incentive unless you want better graphics. But how much better can the graphics really be? Like, I don't know. It's a weird decision. Tax write-off for RGT and company. You are correct. The rumor is that Activision will pay up to $18 billion for him. Jesus Christ. I do watch you, RGT. See, he's a well-informed person. Do you think the Sony will overhaul the Plus or whatever to match what Xbox Game Pass has, which seems superior to me? I think if they did, it would be very dangerous. I'm not quite sure if they're willing to take the risk, though, because no matter what Philly Spencer likes to tell you, Game Pass does not lead to more game sales. That was one of the things that he was very contingent on, and has gone on record as saying that, but there is absolutely zero statistical data to back that up, except for the fact that I played Journey to the Savage Planet on Game Pass, and I was like, hey, this game would be cool on Switch, and then it was like announced for the Switch, and I was like, hey, I don't have to play this anymore. I'll just play it on the Switch and review it. Sega Xbox for the go.
No, I wish they would be more transparent with those numbers, and Nintendo with digital numbers. Period.
But that's the crazy thing, is Nintendo doesn't even talk about digital numbers, or physical are so crazy, even though the physical medium is dying, according to Jason. Do you really think Nintendo won't have a direct in the next month or two? It's up in the air. I think they're just going to do another announcement for a game, sort of like they did with Paper Mario.
Agreed, Riley, that Game Pass is very attractive in the Xbox camp, but if you have a PC, you don't really need the console.
I missed the part RGT, GT5, Gran Turismo PS5. I liked it. I want to see more of it. Why is there no Netflix on the Switch?
Good question.
Who the fuck knows? How are you finding the whole IGN replacing E3 thing now? I can't work out the schedule and I'm missing most of it. Same. Shoutouts to Brian. I feel bad because I'm always talking shit about IGN, but Brian Altano is like a buddy of mine, and I keep forgetting like he follows me on Twitter because we did the Spawncast together. I'm like, sorry, dude. Not you. You're cool, Brian.
I haven't watched anything from IGN so far.
I watched. Well, I had to watch the Arcade 1-Up stuff.
Oh, side note, do you guys care at all about the Persona 4 reveal?
No.
PC?
Coming to PC?
Yeah.
No.
Oh,
I thought it was cool.
I'm excited for that. I'll be playing that soon on stream on this channel.
I just think it's so funny that everybody was, people bash all these gaming outlets, and now they're the go-to source for showcasing all these different showcases.
Or you
PC
got
Gamer,
Jeff.
IGN, GameSpot, Jeff.
Just Jeff.
This whole E3 replacement has been a mess. I agree, but it's also because it was whipped up at the last second. I think if they do it next year, I think it would work fine. If you had proper planning, you had proper, more proper events, I think it would be fine, and E3 just wouldn't be needed at all.
Yeah.
Final question. Go.
I think it does one thing though. It kind of made me realize how hard it is to put one game in front of a lot of fucking people at once when you have all these siloed events, and like people are hearing about games on whatever it was, and I'm like, holy shit, where was this at? And then I saw regurgitate like Disintegration I've seen on like 2 or 3 streams, and I think people forget how big like an E3 presser is when you have the attention of so many people to promote your game.
It's almost like you need YouTubers to fill in the cracks for things you might have missed. Maybe.
Give me the crack.
Can you trust those guys?
Some of them. Did you see Yeah, I talked about it in a video. The Play Asia price was $700. It's bullshit.
Oh yeah, that $6.99 one.
Yeah, no, that's placeholder bullshit.
You were saying final question?
Oh, what's the next Nintendo game announcement? I have no idea. I think it'll be one of the Mario games, if not like a whole big blowout of them.
Mario 3D Remaster Collection.
Oh, God, I hope not. They need to time something better than that. That needs to be an afterthought, not a priority.
It's Nintendo.
Yeah.
Well, you're gonna get a big Smash announcement soon, so that's the next big thing. But
big whoop.
Yeah, pretty much at this point. All right, and as we wrap up, anything on the horizon this week for you guys that's exciting?
Yes, I have a video coming out tomorrow talking about how the Switch, or can the Switch, sustain itself with the PS5 and Xbox Series X. And I think I make some good points.
All right. And Greg?
Yeah, you can find me over on PC Invasion. Hopefully that preview will be going up. I've been trying to contribute as much as I can. Or on Instagram at enthusiast_Greg. And this week, I'm telling you guys now, because tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. CST, I'm going to be giving away a copy of Mega Man 3 on the NES and some small pins and stuff that I've accumulated over the years. Only open to the United States. I'm sorry, but
fuck you, foreigners. Borders are closed.
Or my compas in Mexico. That's fine.
That's the first Mega Man game I ever played, by the way. Mega Man 3.
Really?
Yep. Very cool. Any special occasion for that, Greg? Or is it just because it's Monday?
Just because it's Monday. And I picked up a duplicate. Well, I picked up... actually had a good pickup this weekend. I don't know where it's at.
For next week. All right. Over here, I'm going to be doing more streams on YouTube this week. So the usual stuff. We're doing Castlevania tomorrow. We're doing Platinum runs on Wednesday, which is a little bit of Hollow Knight, a little bit of Guacamelee, a little bit of whatever else I want to do. And then every morning, Monday to Friday, is now Animal Crossing and Coffee morning. So if you want my company in the morning from 9 to 11, follow me over on twitch.tv/HeyJOfficial, where I have the cutest time drinking my coffee and building an amusement park. There's also a new episode of the Wii 100 that went up last Wednesday on the channel, so check that out. It's in the Hey J News style, so if you like that format of my content, all of my content now has that format. And this week there's going to be a review coming out for Epic Dumpster 2, which I have no idea why. Epic Bear Dumpster 2, which is a pretty shitty game. I don't know why I'm playing it. But it's a platformer, and they gave it to me, so I figured let's review it. There's a cow that goes Super Saiyan in it. There's some quirky stuff. So I'll see you on the next. Otherwise, I'll see you on the next stream or next Sunday on the next Class vs. Crass Gaming podcast. Until then, keep it classy, or as Sean would say,
Keep it classy.
or as Greg would say.
A little bit of both.
Have a good night, everyone.